That's at minimum 8 times her own height. And for as much as Chili and Bandit disregard the needs and safety of their fellow neighbors, I don't think that even they would allow their favorite 4-year-old to use something like that unsupervised. But still, that little bit's happening off camera. What about something that's happening on camera in real time? That'd be pretty convincing, right? Well, in that very same episode, after discovering a fairy ring with Bandit's phone inside, they turn around and find that the entire yard has been covered in fairy rings. There is no way that Bandit and Chili could have set all of these up. We see them in literally every scene leading up to this big reveal. And if those rings had already been there, Bingo and Bluey would have already seen them. And if they're just pretending to not see them, you wouldn't get a Bingo reaction looking like this. Her eyes are huge. She is shooketh by those rings. But we don't just have to assume here either. Again, we get physical proof that they weren't there a second ago. Well, the camera does its best to try and frame out the rest of the yard for the bulk of the scene. Look at where Bluey's standing relative to that first fairy ring. If you map her position out relative to the wide shot that we later cut to, technically we should have been able to see that tablet fairy ring in the bottom right corner of the screen. But it's not there until Bluey notices all the rest of the fairy rings across the yard. This had to have been done using magic. So, am I saying that fairies exist in the Blueyverse? You bet I am. At the end of the episode, Bingo straight up sees a fairy setting up her dominoes in the same heart shape that Bingo made for her dad. Well, it could just be imaginary and the show tries to leave it open for interpretation. All the physical proof we have from bending brooms to fairy rings to slow motion wands prove otherwise. And now that we have a couple undeniable pieces of proof that magic exists here, so what? I mean, that's crazy and all, but why should we care about this? Well, we can actually track the source of the magic, and it's none other than... If you look back through all the episodes and evidence, you'll realize that many of the imaginary games played throughout the series are actually all created by Chili using some form of magic. Some examples: in Asparagus, Chili gives Bluey a piece of asparagus and explains,
"It's a magic asparagus. It turns people into any animal you want."
Chili's whispering this to Bluey, so Bandit and Bingo can't hear her and know what the game is. And